It feels like Pablo Reyes is taking over the Boston Red Sox. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. If you had told me at the beginning of the year that during the Red Sox wild card push, the guy who would be at the middle of everything right now is a guy who the Red Sox traded cash for from the Oakland Athletics, a guy who couldn't even break the Oakland Athletics major league roster, I would tell you, you are insane. But here we are. Pablo Reyes is smack dab in the middle of everything the Red Sox are trying to do over the last couple of weeks, as well as going forward. He has been truly the spark plug of the Boston Red Sox over the last month and really this entire season overall. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to break down just how good Pablo Reyes has been lately, as well as over the entire season, what it has meant to the Boston Red Sox and what his impact not only on the team itself but the organization as a whole is. And we're going to talk about whether or not what the success that we're seeing right now is sustainable for one Mr. Pablo Reyes. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So before coming to the Boston Red Sox, while Pablo Reyes may have never cracked the Oakland Athletics major league roster, he had spent time at the major league level. He spent time between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers at the major league level, and during that time combined, he had a 79 OPS plus. So before coming to the Boston Red Sox, at the major league level at least, Pablo Reyes was a utility player who was producing about 21% below league average production at the plate. But this year, it's been an entirely different story. In fact, over 44 games with the Boston Red Sox, Pablo Reyes has hit .322 with a .362 on base percentage and a .441 slug, good for a .115 OPS plus, or he's been about 15% above league average production at the plate. Now, for a guy who career-wise in Major League Baseball had a 79 OPS plus, a .115 OPS plus in 44 games is a really impressive season at the plate for Pablo Reyes. But if you're like me and you're sitting there and you're going, that's a pretty good season, but over the last couple of weeks, it's really felt like Pablo Reyes has not only produced at a higher clip at than 15% above league average production, but it really feels like he's been the heart and soul of this Red Sox team. And to that, I say you are 100% correct, because right now, Pablo Reyes is in the midst of the best month of his entire career. So far, throughout the month of August, Pablo Reyes has appeared in 14 games for the Red Sox and has 51 plate appearances. During that time, he is hitting a really impressive .362 with an even more impressive .412 on base percentage and a .575 slug to go along with that, leading to a .986 OPS or a .164 OPS plus. In the month of August, Pablo Reyes has been 64% above league average production at the plate when it comes to the average player in baseball. On top of that, too, he has 2 home runs. The only 2 home runs he's hit this entire season have both come in the month of August. He has 7 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 2 stolen bases. He also has 3 3-hit games and 3 2-hit games. Basically, what I'm saying there is that almost half of the games Pablo Reyes has played in during the month of August, he's had a multi-hit game. He's been extremely productive in almost every facet that you can be productive in at the plate during the month of August, and it's really helped the Red Sox win some games. In fact, he's done so well at the plate this month that he has a win probability added of 0.985, which essentially, for those of you who don't know what win probability added means, is basically Pablo Reyes has been hitting so well on the Boston Red Sox during the month of August that by himself, he's given the Red Sox another win during the month, which is a pretty impressive thing to say about one singular player who, again, for most of his major league career has been a below average utility infielder who played around the diamond, didn't really get a ton of plate appearances, and when he did, he didn't really knock anyone's socks off. This has been by far and away the best month of Pablo Pablo Reyes' career offensive production wise. Now, it's not just in the batter's box where Pablo Reyes was positively impacting this team overall throughout the 2023 season, right? Because on the field as well, between both shortstop and second base, he's been a little bit better at shortstop, but he hasn't been terrible at second base. He's averaged out to a 0 defensive run saved, which is dead league average. Now, normally when we're making highlight videos about players, if they're dead average at something, I usually don't try and highlight it, because if we're talking about why a player is so great, you don't want to be like, oh, this player is so great because he's got league average defense. But in a year where the Red Sox could be a historically bad defensive team, to have a guy like Pablo Reyes who has come in, he's given you league average defense, is a really, really great thing for the Boston Red Sox at the time that he came over, right? Because if this was any other year, this would be perfectly fine, right? We'd be saying, oh, he's got a great bat, but he's okay defensively. This year, he's got a great bat and he's okay defensively, right? There's a little bit of a difference here with the 2023 Red Sox, but he has affected this Red Sox team in more ways than one. The question here is, one, what is his impact outside of just what he's been able to do on the field, and is his success on the field sustainable? I think the biggest thing to look at when we're talking about organizational effects, outside of the fact that Pablo Reyes is helping them win ball games on the field right now, is the fact that the Red Sox had 4 middle infielders, which they took the time to evaluate and make decisions on, and they ended up picking the right one, right? When you think about it, you had 4 middle infielders on the Boston Red Sox at one point just a month ago on this team, right? You had Kike, who is now traded to Los Angeles, who's been playing really well for the Dodgers because of course he's been, right? And then the other 2 players who were middle infielders on the Red Sox at the time were Yu Chang and Christian Arroyo, who were both DFA'd and somehow both still remain in the Red Sox system. But the Boston Red Sox decided to go with Pablo Reyes as their sort of middle infield utility player over all 3 of these guys, and so far it's worked out really, really well, right? Pablo Reyes has outperformed all of them throughout the entirety of 2023 overall, and after you put your faith in this guy, he explodes and becomes this insane ignition in the Red Sox offense, and it's been incredible to watch. And in the midst of sort of a weird time in Red Sox Nation, where some people really like the way the Red Sox are evaluating talent, and some people really hate the way the Red Sox are evaluating talent, this is a big win for both sides, right? Having Pablo Reyes, a guy who, again, under the radar his entire career, a guy who not really a ton of people knew about, a guy who personally I didn't expect to be on this team very long, especially with Trevor Story and Luis Urias coming over Christian Arroyo, Yu Chang, and Kike Hernandez, to have them decide on Pablo Reyes, and for that to be correct is a huge win for this organization in a year where they've actually had a pretty decent amount of wins when it comes to finding under the radar guys, right? Pablo Reyes is obviously the big one, but Brennan Bernardino has been fantastic this year. You fix guys like Chris Murphy and make them better, right? The overall talent evaluation for the Boston Red Sox feels like it's in a better place than it has been over the last couple of years, and it's because of guys like Pablo Reyes. So overall, organizationally, this is a really, really great sign as to how they're evaluating talent and how they're making decisions in that front office. The other question is whether or not this is sustainable, and I think there's a pretty obvious answer to this one, right? No, Pablo Reyes is not going to be hitting 64% above league average production for the rest of the season, but is it sustainable for him to hit close to league average or slightly above league average for the rest of the year? I don't see a reason why not, right? Right now, his current OPS plus for the season is 115, which, again, I don't see any reason why Pablo Reyes can't stick around that 115 mark for the rest of the year. Maybe we see that average dip closer towards 300, maybe it even dips under 300, but I still think in terms of OPS production that he could be a slightly above league average production player for the last couple of weeks of the season. And again, that's a really valuable player for the Boston Red Sox. Again, the Red Sox put their faith in Pablo Reyes. Alex Cora has put his faith in Pablo Reyes, right? Pablo Reyes was chosen over 3 veteran-ish Red Sox and Major League players to be the guy on this Red Sox team. And so far, there's not really any reason to argue against that decision. So until we see otherwise, yeah, I think Pablo Reyes is perfectly capable capable of being that above average production wise hitter and giving you that league average to slightly above league average production on the field, which will be a huge help for the Red Sox over the next couple of months, especially with the opponents that they're facing, right? They're facing a lot of really difficult opponents. To have a guy in the 7-8 spot who's kind of sneakily having a really productive year helps move the lineup along, helps drive in runs, and it helps this Red Sox offense continue to chug and continue to hopefully break these starting pitchers. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really know if Pablo Reyes is going to be a starter on the Boston Red Sox for a super long period of time, right? Reyes is having a pretty decent season after coming over to the Boston Red Sox. He's a 123 WRC plus right now with the Red Sox since he came over. Then you got prospects coming up over the next couple of years that could be more impactful than Pablo Reyes, so I'm not sure how long he will be a starting second baseman for this Red Sox team as we finish out this season. I would assume we see him a lot as we finish out this season, but going into 2024, I think he'll move back into that super utility role where he could play third, first, second, short, right? He could even play a little bit of outfield as well, but I think the Red Sox may have found their next utility guy. This is a guy who I think the Red Sox believe can be productive in sort of a plug-and-play situation. I think that's where we're going to see Pablo kind of rest over the next couple of years, but that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of the emergence of Pablo Reyes, this sort of explosion onto the scene here for Pablo in the month of August? Let me know what you think about Reyes so far this year. Let me know what you think his role could be going forward. Let me know all your thoughts on Pablo Reyes in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.